Do you realize the Lord loves oneness? Do you love oneness? Does oneness matter to you? It should, because it matters to the Lord. When I was your age, I was seeking the Lord. I had a big turn in my life. I began to seek the Lord. Lord, where are you? What are you doing? And I began to meet at a lot of different places. I met here, I met there, and I tried to fellowship with the believers. And, I was just seeking, Lord, where are you? Where should I go? What should I do? I really want to be in the middle of what you're doing. I wasn't after something low. Lord, I want to be in the middle of what you're doing. What's your heart's desire? I really was seeking. And I remember just being with different believers at different places, and you had the sense I could meet with them on the Lord's Day, but that's about all I could do. I couldn't get into the lives. We couldn't get into the lives of one another the rest of the week. And so it's like, what's the problem here? And then in those days, it was a lot of what was going on in America. There's the coffee houses, which were just little places that you would meet in storefronts or in garages or any place where Christians could meet outside the denominations. They'd come out of the denominations, they meet in different places, and they just would enjoy the Lord together. They didn't know how to do it, what to do, but they were looking for oneness. But that was the longing deep within. That was the feeling deep within. We're one in the Spirit, but what about the unity? Where's the unity? We were really looking to the Lord. And we didn't know what the answer was. What's the solution to this? We're just, there's something in us that doesn't agree. Something in us that doesn't agree with believers being divided. Because I saw in John 17, how much the Lord cared about oneness. He prayed for oneness. He prayed that we all would be one. Even a oneness that the world could see. And they would believe because of the oneness that the world would see. So within us, we were all looking, where's that oneness? Where's that oneness? Well, when I saw in the Word, and I was with some believers who really helped me to see, in the Bible, there's a solution to the oneness. You know what it is? Just to be what we are in the city where we are. What are we? We're just the church. And the church is as big as the city. That's the boundary. And so in my conscience, it was so good to just come and meet as a church. At that time, I was in Houston. I just met as a church we met with others, the church in Houston. And you know what? My view then and to this day, wherever I am, whatever city, the church in that city includes every believer. So I was there in Houston. You know what? On one hand, I'm meeting as a church in Houston, but I realized the church encompasses every believer. Every believer. Do you have that feeling? You may meet in San Diego. Do you have the feeling that the church there includes every believer? Every born-again, real believer? I hope you have that view, because it does. Now then, not everyone chooses to meet in such a simple way, just to be what we are, the church in that city. But it's a most blessed thing, saints. It's so blessed. For me, it's like, my conscience is good. I'm not building up any walls between anybody. I'm embracing all of them. We receive every believer, right? We don't insist. We just meet according to the Scripture as what we are. What are we? If we're in Timbuktu, we're just what? Church Timbuktu. At that time, I was just a member of the church in Houston. And all the believers, I love them all, receive them all. And it was blessing. There was blessing in that kind of a situation. You know, in Psalm 133, what does it say? Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. ... For there the Lord commands the blessing, even what? Life forevermore.